No, I have the classiest drink on this list. So, old fashions, if you buy me tequila, I will cry. Like, in a sad way, not funny. Word. And everyone's like, yeah, it's still funny. Who in here is afraid of dying? Don't lie about that shit. Again, with the tequila, I might be. But no, not me. You see, when my day comes, I will readily fist bump the Grim Reaper. I will have been waiting for this moment for so long. I planned my funeral when I was 12. But why shouldn't I? That's always been a part of my family. I come from a long line of Trail of Tear travelers and Dust Bowl dancers. My great-grandfather was 6'5". I know you can't tell I come from that. But his fists were wrecking balls, his skin crafted from iron, his legs were trunks of redwood, and his chest was a powder keg. When he was 95 years old, he was still the strongest man I knew. He could pick me up with one arm, he would set me on his lap, and he always called me Jefferson. That is not my name. When I was 9 years old, I finally asked him, I said, Grandpa, why don't you ever call me Christopher? He just looked at me and said, boy, you need to stop worrying about what people call you. Your name will change when they tell your story. The point is, what stories will they be telling when you are gone? He had taught me that death is not a loss of life, it is a victory over it. It's when your soul breaks free from the confines of your body and claims a triumph, and like every great victory, stories will be told. A year later, he passed away. I smiled through the entire service. Not because I was a creepy kid, but because I was so proud of what strength it must have taken for him to break free from such strong shackles. And every moment since then, I have been planning my own victory, thinking of the coolest ways that I can go out, like getting hit by a high-speed renegade explosive bus while saving the president's baby. Fuck YOLO, I've had 25 years to get living right. I've got one shot at dying. I will make that shit count. I do not see my casket as some sort of final packaging. No, this will be the greatest prank I ever play on my friends. I'll have the funeral home tape my eyes open. They'll mold my mouth into a Jack Nicholson smile, and my casket will be spring-loaded. And as everyone sits there ready to lay me to rest, I will come up abruptly. A pre-recorded laugh will boom over loudspeakers. The music from the Rocky Horror Picture Show will kick in, and there will be strobe lights as a disco ball descends over the crowd. This is not a funeral, it's a dance party. No standing on the walls, put your hands on your hips, pull your knees in tight, and it's the pelvic thrust that drives him insane. And we will all do the time warp again. And before anyone is allowed to leave, they have to toast to me with a shot of Jameson, dispensed from a fountain in my mouth. And as people leave, it won't matter if they're calling me Christopher or Jefferson, they'll just be saying, damn, I wish he died more often.
And he likes a classy fucking drink. All right. Next in this round, in this battle, is going to be Dylan Garrity.
It is cool. It started as a joke. The rival comedy group on campus had just performed 24 consecutive hours of improv, and as we debated the most ridiculous way to one-up them, the idea flashed into my head. 24 consecutive hours of erotic fan fiction. After a week spent scouring the internet for material, we started precisely at noon for a crowd of friends, strangers, and one greasy geek couple who couldn't keep their hands off each other. We sat down in a kindergarten-style storytelling circle and began to read. 1. Harry Potter, Ron, and Hermione explore the many uses of engorgement charms. 2. C-3PO and Chewbacca bargain to save Han Solo's life, but Jabba the Hutt wants more than just credits. He wants a Wookiee robot double fisting. 3. XXX-Men. 4. In a bizarre twist of universes, Captain Kirk somehow crash lands the Starship Enterprise into Middle-earth. But out of the ashes steps Gandalf, who nurses Kirk back to health and shows him that a wizard is never late. Oh no, he arrives exactly when he means to. And as the hours wore on, the greasy geek couple kept watching us, but they'd leave every half hour or so only to come back looking flushed. We realized too late that they were using us as foreplay, but it's too late to stop now because back at Hogwarts, Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy are sentenced to a night of detention, but instead end up doing hard labor in each other's forbidden forests. And Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin stumble upon an all-animal orgy on Rabbit's farm. It's 100 acres of wood. And after 18 straight hours of this, true story, the stories actually started to make sense to us. They no longer seemed like absurd fantasies. This just must be the way the world worked. Of course, the Velveteen Rabbit fucks the other stuffed animals while you're sleeping. Of course, Tigger's prehensile tail can be used for more than just bouncing. Of course, Wolverine's regenerative powers also apply to his boner. And at 8 a.m., as the sun broke through the windows like God's morning wood climbing over the horizon, I tried to squeeze in some reading for history the next day, but couldn't understand why Lincoln and Douglas were debating instead of donkey punching. My mind was a delirious mashup of characters. I closed my eyes in exhaustion only to witness a fivesome between Big Bird, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Batman, Betty White, and Benjamin Button. I woke up at noon and left every age. I woke up at noon and left to try to get some more sleep. I tried not to think of bedtime stories. It would take a lot longer than 24 hours for them to feel safe again. Thank you, and I'm sorry.